thrill me.
This show is part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
It's Review It Man, reviewing what he can. Movies are his jam, so let's get twisted, man. It's Review It Rob.
Hey yo, welcome into the Review It Rob show, man. Hope everybody out there is doing fantastic. Appreciate you joining in to listen to this show. We're going to be talking the new film Monkey Man, spoiler free of course, as well as news going on in DC films, news going on in horror, and news around the movie realm, man. So appreciate you joining in to listen to this show. Recording this after WrestleMania, man, so a lot of emotions have gone on after watching WrestleMania. Talk about that a little bit later on this episode. Not full detail. We're going to be doing that special episode on the Thrill Me Podcast Network, recapping WrestleMania and the Raw after WrestleMania, as well as all kinds of fun stuff always going on over here on the Thrill Me Podcast Network, man. So that's a fun episode we got lined up for you here on this week's show. Before I do that, before I go into our review for this week's episode, if you will indulge me for a moment, this episode is a pretty big milestone episode for me, if you will. Looking at it and looking into where we're at with the show, this episode that is you're listening to right now, as I'm fumbling through it, man. Like I mentioned, a lot of emotions going on after watching WrestleMania, and just emotions with this as well. This episode is the 200th episode of the Review It Rob show. Incredible to even think that I've recorded that many episodes of this show. Doesn't even seem like I've done this many episodes. Like, I absolutely love doing this show. It's such a passion project for me. It's such a love for me. Celebrated. The show started 4 years ago, man, and it's been a wonderful, interesting, creative experience with this show, and I've just, again, enjoyed every single aspect of it. So to be thinking that right now, at this moment, I am recording the 200th episode of the show is wild. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's, it's a lot of things, and it's just so cool, man. And if you've been here since the beginning, first off, thank you for surviving those early episodes. Even worse than how I'm talking now on the show. But it's been a great journey, and I appreciate you. If you've been here since the beginning of the ride, thank you so much. It's been awesome. Hope you've had a great time. Obviously, hopefully you've had a great time if you've been here since the beginning. If you're a new listener to the show, welcome, man. We have fun over here on the Review It Rob show, man, and welcome to the journey, because there will be 200 more episodes after this, and even more going in the future, because again, I absolutely, positively, 100% love doing this show. Like, it's such a escape for me. That's like what movies are for me, is it's an escape to the world, and to do this show has brought me so much. It's brought me a lot. It's brought me friends that from all parts of the world, and it's brought me like these really close friendships, to where now I go to Halloween Horror Nights with these amazing people and all that, and talk to people online, and met people through and all these things, and it's brought me out more. I'm pretty much a shelled person. I am, I don't, not really outgoing. I'm very, myself, and, even with people close to me, I don't talk all that much. It's just kind of my personality, I guess. But, the show has brought out more of me. I used to be worse, believe it or not. I used to be a lot worse. So, social skills and all that stuff have never been the best. So going into doing a show where I'm talking by myself and doing this all by myself with nothing around me, no co-host to help me out with anything to help me take a break. It's been a great journey. It's been a journey of knowing myself and becoming safer and happier, and building, on something that I love to do, man. So again, appreciate you as always listening to this show and supporting the show. And there's merch out there if you want to buy, merch for the show. But nonetheless, man, thank you for indulging me in that, man. Just 200 episodes, so exciting. Can't wait to see what the future holds with this show, as always. But going from there, without further ado, let's jump into the spoiler-free review of Monkey Man. This film is rated R for sexual content / nudity, language throughout drug use, and strong bloody violence. The film is an action mystery thriller running in at 1 hour 53 minutes and is currently only in theaters. The film is about Monkey Man. It stars Dave Patel as a kid who, no, not Dave, Lord, Dev Patel, who not pulls multiple duties here. He's also directing the film as well as starring. He's as a kid, an anonymous young man who eked out a meager living in an underground fighting club where night after night, wearing a gorilla mask, he is beaten bloody by more popular fighters for cash. After years of suppressed rage, Kid discovers a way to infiltrate the enclave of the city's sinister elite. As his childhood trauma boils over, his mysterious, scarred hands unleash an explosive campaign of retribution to settle the score with the men who took everything from him. Rotten Tomatoes critics have it at an 87%, while the audience has it at an 83%. Close, close, close there. And IMDb has it at a 7.4 out of 10. So, what were my thoughts on the film? And to go into it, Jordan Peele's name is on here. He's a producer of the film. He's not a director. Some people get that mixed up. They did that with Candyman back in the day. Jordan Peele did not direct this movie. He is a producer of the film. So going into it, I was interested, right? I saw the trailer. I'm like, this seems like an interesting enough movie. I want to see, how this all boils out and all that stuff. And watching the movie itself, I honestly, and I say this without, I don't want to be overly critical of things. I don't do that on the show. There's plenty of critical people in the world. I just want to talk about movies in a positive light where I can and not, be too negative about things. So, with all of that said, I'm not going to say I hated this movie by any means because I did not. I liked parts of it, mostly the action parts of the movie I thought were really good. And I liked the way they were, the way they were shot and all that stuff. And I like the way it was portrayed and how it all worked out, action wise. But there's honestly, I said it a minute ago, the film's 1 hour and 53 minutes, and it felt extremely long. It seemed like so much longer than that. I did make a joke leaving the theater. I'm like, that was 5 hours. I don't know what it was, and I was granted pretty tired that day when I went to see the movie. But at the same time, a movie should be able to, wake me up. I've gone to theaters plenty of times where I've been extremely tired, and the movie was good enough to like wake me up and get me through it. So the movie itself, like I mentioned, other than the action scenes are, I mean, the best way to kind of describe this movie is it's like plenty of other films we've seen before, right? It's an action movie involving, somebody who's done wrong in the past and they're eventually gonna, get older and they're gonna grow and they're gonna have some kind of plan of revenge and all that stuff. Like we've seen these movies before. We've enjoyed these movies before. The film has gotten John Wick comparisons, which I can kind of see for sure, but not as good as the John Wick movies, in my opinion. It's fine at best to me, is what this movie was. It's not a movie that I probably will ever see again. It's not a movie I'm gonna ever race back to watch again. It did fine. I get the story. Like I said, it's a story we've seen plenty of times. The performances are good in the movie. I have no problems with the performances whatsoever. And again, I did enjoy the action bits of it. It's one of those things where you could have trimmed parts of this movie out. Like, you didn't need to overly explain the past. Like, I pretty much got it pretty quickly from the first time. They gave you a glimpse of what was going on in the past. Like, it pretty much clicked with me quickly. And again, I'm, a cinephile, right? I've watched tons of movies, so maybe it clicks quicker for me than other people. I don't know. But I just was left, I fell asleep in the theater. I did. And again, I'm trying not to be critical of the movie itself. Again, there's obviously plenty of people who have enjoyed it, but like, I don't think it's as groundbreaking as other people have made it out to be. I didn't, again, I didn't hate it. It doesn't suck. It's fine. It's fine to me. But I just, I don't know. I can't, be extremely positive all the time. Be like, yeah, it was a good movie. It was fine. Like I don't trying to be nice, and and I don't. At the same time, I don't have to be mean about the movie. I don't think there's anything extremely egregious with the movie whatsoever. It's one of those things where just let's get there quicker. It's one of those things. And I don't have a problem with dialogue movies. I can easily watch a dialogue movie. I have no problem with backstories and all that stuff. It's just it's one of those things where it's like we don't need the same thing multiple times in this movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got it. I got it. So for me personally, I didn't overly enjoy this movie. Like I said, I did. I did nod off a couple of times while watching the movie. Again, during the action scenes, I had a good time, but it didn't seem like there was that much action in this movie either. Like, you have your boxing, fighting scenes, right? And then you have, you know, the chase scenes and stuff like that it's just, it's fine. Yeah, I don't want to go long and hard on this thing because it's just, again, if we keep doing that, I'm going to try to find something to be negative about, and it's not one, it's a weird aspect. It's one of those things where I didn't enjoy the movie for much more than the action, but I can't sit here and tell you that it's a bad movie because it's not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It's like, it's not, like, I get it. I understood what they did. I've seen this version of a movie like this done better. There's movies like this that I've enjoyed because, like I said, it is a concept we've seen before. Um, I feel like I watched a movie recently, like a couple years ago when I was doing Flixit, that was like this as well. So it's it's fine. The movie at the end of the day, it's fine. And again, it's not something I'm going to see again. But the reason I provide those scores on this show is not because I live by them, but because it shows people have differing opinions. And so I never tell anybody not to see a movie, right? I just give my honest thoughts on it. And there they are. So if you want to see the movie, see the movie. I would suggest waiting. I know this is against movie fan rules to tell somebody not to go to a theater, but I would suggest waiting for it to hit streaming. It's just my thoughts, but do you? But overall, I think the movie was fine. Good action scenes, good enough story, right? It could have been. It's not the groundbreaking thing it's made out to be, if that makes sense. So there you go. Those are my quick thoughts on the movie itself. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the movie if you saw it over the weekend. Did you extremely love it, or did you find it to be just fine like me? Let's see. Over in DC, one thing to talk about here is that apparently we have a director now for the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow film, with rumors suggesting that Craig Gillespie, who directed I, Tonya, which I, Tonya is a really good movie, is in talks to direct the upcoming Supergirl film over there at Warner Brothers DC Studios. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is based on the DC comic book run of the same name. It is set to shoot later this year after Superman wraps filming, and it stars, all we know at the moment is Millie Alcock, who is known for House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones spin-off show, or the Game of Thrones Back in Time show of the Targaryens, right? I don't know, I didn't watch it. But it makes sense, and I like that they're not rushing these films. It's like, okay, Superman's going to happen. After that, we're going to start filming Supergirl. Unknown if Supergirl will show up in the Superman film or not, maybe in credit scene, but we'll see. But yeah, that's about the news we have on DC. And we're just waiting there. Joker trailer, depending on the time you're listening to this episode, that will be releasing this week. So be on the lookout for me doing a trailer reaction again on the Throwing Podcast Network's YouTube, which, by the way, if you're not there already, hit that like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Stay notified. Like I mentioned, we have some special things always happening over there, and we'll have a WrestleMania recap happening there as well. Which reminds me, I give my quick thoughts on WrestleMania, right? We'll do that after the news. Let's see. Horror news. Biggest news as far as I'm concerned, Chucky Season 3 continues this week. So depending again on when you're listening to this episode, this would have already continued. But Chucky Season 3 is back, my babies. I'm so excited about this. I love that show, obviously. I love Chucky to death. But that show has been freaking fantastic every season as far as I'm concerned. And Season 3 was put on halt while the strikes happened, the writer's strike and the actor's strike. But now that those have been resolved, they shot more things, and the season is officially returning this week, man. So excited about that. Be on the lookout. That is on USA and Sci-Fi, and will be hitting Peacock the next day. Other news around horror real quick is that Russell Crowe has provided an update on the future of the Pope Exorcist franchise. Pope's Exorcist I did review, and I enjoyed that movie, actually. I'm due for a rewatch. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but when it did hit Netflix, it got a ton of hits. So as far as sequels go for the Pope's Exorcist, Russell Crowe said, quote, "That's in discussion at the moment. The original producers, they originally got the kickoff from the studio, not just for one sequel, but for two. So, 2 sequels, so trilogy, it sounds like. But there's been a change of studio heads at the moment, so that's going around in a few circles. But very definitely, man, we've set that character up that you could take him out and put him into a lot of different circumstances. And remember that the man that's based on, Gabriel Amorth, he wrote 12 books, so we have more than enough source material to do 1 or 2 more of these films, but that probably won't be until next year, end quote. So, if you enjoyed The Pope's Exorcist like me, it sounds like they are possibly working on more films, at least 2 more to set up a trilogy there, but there's been changes going on at the studio, so who knows if or when that'll happen, but pretty promising that they mentioned that it probably won't do anything till next year, but still promising that they'll be working on something. It sounds like, man. So, Pope's Exorcist. If you saw that movie, let me know in the trailer. Let me know in the trailer. Let me know in the thoughts. Let me know in the thoughts. Jesus, let me know in the comments what you thought. Other news in the other realms of movies here. A 5th Matrix movie is in development. It'll be the first installment without Lana or Lily Wachowski as directors. Instead, Drew Goddard, who was the screenwriter for The Martian, will be handling those director duties. It's not clear who from the Matrix universe will be returning for the film, and plot details haven't been revealed. But Warner Brothers Motion Pictures president Jesse Ehrman has teased that the story will advance the fantasy world without striving too far from what made the series a success. To be upfront and real honest with y'all, I have only seen the first Matrix film. Enjoyed it, didn't hate it. I understand why it was such a big deal back in the day. I did not notice there were so many of the Matrix movies. Didn't they do one recently? I say recently, it was probably like 20 years ago, but wasn't there another Matrix movie not that long ago? Or was that the video game I'm thinking about? I might be thinking about the video game. Let's see, The Matrix Resurrections came out in 2021. So yeah, there was. Yeah, there was another movie. Yeah, not too long ago. Okay. So I don't know. I'm not like I haven't watched all of them, so I'm not as up to date with that franchise or as in love or important to me. Um, but I guess that's fun for Matrix fans. I don't know, Matrix fans. Let me know in the comments what you're feeling about this development that there's a 5th Matrix movie in development. um, like I don't I guess I get it, but I mean you gotta get Keanu, right? You gotta get Keanu back. I would expect, right? I don't know. I don't know. All right, other news. Disney has provided some release dates for upcoming projects, moving around some dates, making some other dates for other projects. Let's see. First off, the live-action version of Moana, originally slated to open in 2025, has been pushed back to July 10th, 2026. Wow, that is a big pushback right there. I don't know if that had anything to do with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being back in wrestling, that taking away filming time for him or not. I don't know. I also believe he's shooting an A24 movie within the next month, if I believe The Rock said in a press conference Saturday night. So, yeah, maybe that's what it is. His schedule for filming is heating back up, which is good to see. I like The Rock. So we shall see what happens there. But July 10th, 2026. Wow, what a pushback. The Mandalorian and Grogu, that is the spinoff from the Mandalorian TV series on Disney Plus, will open on May 22nd, 2026. Toy Story 5 will be releasing June 19th, 2026. So wow, what a span of films right there. So May 22nd, 2026, you get the Mandalorian Grogu film. And then in June, you get Toy Story 5, which has been met with a lot of unhappiness, I guess is the word, or caution. I don't even know if it's caution. I think people are really upset that there's another Toy Story movie happening, from what I've gathered. And of course, the internet always hates everything. But I agree with the things they said. Toy Story 3 was a great ending for the Toy Story franchise. Toy Story 4, I'm going to be honest with you, I do not remember at all. It had that annoying spork in it, right? Yeah. Other than that, I don't remember much of Toy Story 4. And so I don't hate the idea of there being a Toy Story 5. Like, the Toy Story franchise started when I was a kid. So I guess it's fun to see those characters back and all that stuff. But I don't know. I mean, again, I don't remember 4, so I don't know where we're really at this point. But I don't know what we do with a 5. right? I don't know, but it's happening. And then we have Moana. No, Moana's 2026. What was it? It was The Mandalorian in May, and then Toy Story in June of 2026, and then yes, Moana July. So pretty good run there for Disney. They're trying to make some money over there, so that should do well. Of the three, I'm expecting Mandalorian will probably do the best, but you never know. Let's see. Tron Ares will open October 10th, 2025, so you don't have to wait as long for that. So, a Tron film, if you're excited for the Tron movies. I know our brother Tombstone Josh was a fan of the Tron franchise, so hopefully he's stoked for those. Let's see. The Amateur Spy Thriller with Rami Malek and Rachel Brosnahan. That is opening April 11th, 2025. And the movie Night Bitch, excuse me, but that is the name of the movie, which was expected to debut November 8th of this year. This is a horror comedy film that stars Amy Adams that will be releasing instead on December 6th, 2024. Because when I think Christmas, I think Night Bitch. But comedy horror, Amy Adams, that sounds like a great trifecta right there. So I'm excited for that, man. Let's see. So other news? No. All right. Real quick. And again, I'm not gonna go hard on the WrestleMania stuff. We're doing a show on the Throw Me Podcast Network. Overall, I'm extremely excited. I just touched on 2 points. I am so happy for Damian Priest. Like a huge Damian Priest fan. So seeing Damian Priest cash in and win the championship, perfect. Absolutely loved it. Freaking goosebumps as soon as the music hit. Tears rolling down my eyes as soon as he won. So, anytime the videos come on social media, same exact reaction. So excited for that. You know, very very happy. Can't wait to see what happens with him with the championship. And thank you, Roman. You know, Roman Reigns, incredible reign as the WWE, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. A lot of words. That has come to an end. So. Thank you, Roman Reigns. Thank you for what you gave us. I mean, we're talking about a man who's out there, having to take medicine daily for his leukemia battle. So, just to think about that and what he's given us, and seeing a reign like that, man. We'll go into it more on the Throw Me Podcast Network. But thank you, Roman. So awesome to see Damian Priest win, and thank you, Roman, for all you gave us. So. That'll do it for this week's episode, man. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. If you saw Monkey Man, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you think it was just fine like me, or are you with a lot of other people who are like, this is groundbreaking and fantastic? Let's see. DC News, Supergirl. Be on the lookout for the Joker 2 trailer this week. Chucky Season 3. Be on the lookout for that this week as well. And then Matrix. Are you excited for the Matrix film? Are you excited for Toy Story 5? Any of these Disney movies? Are you excited for those? And The Pope's Exorcist. Are you excited for that as well? But nonetheless, man, that'll do it for this episode. Episode number 200 of the Review Rob Show, man. What a time. What a time. Appreciate you as always. Please share the show with people. Let's get it out there, man. Let's make the show go worldwide. It already is worldwide, but let's make it even bigger, man. So let's have a good time. As always, I appreciate you taking this time to listen to the show, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week, month, year, day, rest of time, man. I hope nothing but abundance and, happiness for you. And again, if you're thinking about creating something, create it, man. Because again, I am such a non-social, non-talkative person, and I'm here with a podcast that's been going for 4 years and has been hit episode 200, and it has been an extreme positive in my life, man. So if you're on the ropes about creating something, if you're worried about creating something, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a video, whether it be a video game, whether it be a movie, writing, whatever you want to create, music, whatever it is that you want to create in your bones, and put it out there and put yourself out there and do it, man. It's gonna be beneficial to you, as somebody who has felt the benefits of doing said thing. So do it, man. You're capable, you're enough, you're amazing. You can do it. And I wish you all the best of luck in your future with this creation. But with this episode, we end it. We end this episode, man. So thank you again for joining in to listen to the show. beautiful, beautiful time. Just struggling closing the show. I don't know what's going on here, but appreciate you. Thank you for listening to the show. And as always, I like to end the show with this quote. Love this quote. It has helped me a lot. So at the end of the day, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode.